Hi guys, it's Friday, September 17th at around 10:45 in the morning. So I'm filming this clip now, but I'm not sure if it's like gonna be an intro from the future added to older clips, or if you'll just see this, I don't know, in the middle of the vlog somewhere. So anyways, I wanted to just pop on with a little announcement. Which is just that I'm having and have been having for like recent months, but also years since I've been in the booktube space for I think 10 years now, even though I haven't been active for that long, but I've had this channel for a decade. I would say for the past, I don't know, 5 years, I've just been having some real issues with this channel, with like literally technical things. I had like this weird feeling that maybe my channel got some kind of bug, like a tech bug. Anyway, I'm not gonna like try to explain it. I'm just like sick of some of the issues. So as a test slash tryout, I just opened a new channel. So if you want, I'm gonna link it down below, or yeah, I think I can only link like videos from this channel in the cards, so maybe downstairs. For now, there's like one vlog on there, which actually you haven't seen on this channel, so you can go check it out if you want. It's like a short one, a weekend vlog. And I'm just trying out to see if maybe I don't have some of the same issues. Of course, like I would love if you went and supported that channel in the event that we all move over there. Anyway, that's it. Other thing is that I'm starting to read a new book. This is By Night in Chile by Bolaño. I am doing a buddy read with my sister, booktube sister, literary Iggy. This is on her like end of the year TBR, and it's sitting on my shelf, and I'm like very attracted to this book. Short, tiny, fever dreamy. I've never read Bolaño and I love the cover, so it's like a check for me. So we decided we'll read it together, so I'm gonna start on that. Maybe I'll just talk to you about plans for the coming days. The house is a complete mess and disaster, which is kind of why I haven't been vlogging in the past few days. There's been a lot of things going on and just like not a lot of time. Even though I've had time off from work, but those hours have been filled with other life things. Anyway, so today is Ohad and I's day to do like a full clean of the house, a deep clean, a deep reorganization. Tomorrow night, Ohad is participating with a few of our friends in this drag performance, so he's been preparing for that. I've been kind of trying to find a look. I'm not performing, but I do like to come to the party in a look. Maybe that will be fun to show you some of the like drag content. And yeah, so it's basically today's like a big cleaning day. I'm gonna meet Jessica from Jessica's Bookstack on Instagram. I'm gonna pop over to her place. We live in the same city, and have like some wine and cheese, and I'm gonna meet her dog. So I'm really excited about that. That's all for now. Okay, so either now you're gonna see some older clips, or we're just gonna continue on. I'm not sure. Hi, I haven't filmed in I think a few days, even more than that, like maybe a week since you saw the last clip. No, maybe it's only been a few days, I don't know, time is escaping me. We have been watching The Crown, season 4. Do we love it?
Yes, obsessed.
Obsessed. No, we're like really late on that, you know. You don't have to like scream at me about it, like everyone's already seen it, but we're really loving it, so we're watching that. So today we had appointment for like laser hair removal, and it was just as painful as always, so that was good fun. Something else happened today that was worth mentioning?
Slightly dramatic financial epiphany.
Slightly dramatic financial epiphany. We've got to get our finances under control, and if you'd like to donate a coffee, you can do so in the downstairs bar.
A coffee or a laser appointment or...
Are you taking all the light right now?
Oops.
Oh, I know what I can ask you. In the first clip of the vlog, I mentioned that you were performing in a drag night, so do you want to say how that went?
Yeah, it went amazing.
I thought maybe we would share like some drag content, which we didn't end up sharing.
Probably I will practice my makeup again soon and do
Maybe
some
we can
stuff
film
at
it.
home.
But it was fun. How did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was really fun. Of course, like right before we left, I had a little dramatic makeup moment. Like I slightly freaked out about my makeup, but then you helped me.
You are a showgirl. You're gonna do this.
I really felt like some kind of star when they're like having a crisis and like their manager is like
Someone
taking
needed
them.
Yeah, we needed to have a documentary made about us that day.
Someone was like, "Oh my God, there was a drag show. I missed it. I'm so sorry."
And then paid you money?
And then just
Put
pulled out
money in your
20
hand?
shekels, and I was wearing a bikini.
Oh, that's show business for you, baby. Tonight we signed up for a friend of ours. Her boyfriend is a DJ, and he started this thing that's sort of like, he does these sessions with like a very small group of people that starts at 3 in the morning and goes throughout the middle of the night, where he plays like ambient music, and there's like kind of places where you can basically sleep or just sort of listen to music all the way up until 8 in the morning, and then they serve you breakfast. So we signed up for that, so we're going to that tonight. That will be really interesting.
Yeah, kind of like we go there. It's a big space that has a bar and has a restaurant, and
Dance floor.
we usually go there to like dance and have a pizza. Now we're gonna go there at 3 a.m. and like basically go to sleep.
Yeah. What are you reading? Or did you read something recently? Finish something?
I did. Oh, did I talk about it? I read this graphic novel, Israeli, and now I'm reading translated Christopher Isherwood.
What's it called in English?
Down There on a Visit.
Loving it.
Yeah, so far really loving it, but reading really slowly, as usual.
Oh, and a funny thing also happened, that we were sitting like by the pool somewhere, and you actually spotted an author whose two books you really loved reading, and he was there, and you had a short conversation.
Yes, I met an Israeli author. His name is Jonathan Segiv. I hope he will be translated at some point, so people that watch it can know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I met him and I was like, I read 2 of your books and they're really good. And
amazing.
Yeah.
My dad, ever since I grew up, he would like always send an email to the author after he read a book, and like I think probably like 75% of the authors that he wrote like would always write him back a very nice message. That was good, you know.
Yeah.
You just gotta like
Be natural about it.
yeah.
Trust that it's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I have to tell myself all the time filming these videos is like
I'm always like,
just
we need
trust that
prompts,
it's
we
interesting
need
to
music.
someone.
Ben bought this so I can dry my eyebrows.
No, I bought this for me, and you use it for your
All the
things
time.
also. Thank you so much for being on the show.
And
So a few short updates in terms of reading. I don't know if I spoke about my final thoughts from The Days of Abandonment by Elena Ferrante. Maybe I did. This book is batshit crazy. I was speaking with Jessica from Jessica's Book Stack. I mentioned that I was going to her house. We had a really, really cute like aperitivo book talk. She has like the most crazy bookshelves, and it was just like I could be there forever just being like, have you read this? Have you read that? How's that one? What's this one? Amazing. Anyway, she was like, that's crazy, no. This book is so crazy, so frantic. This is a big DWM, depressed woman moving. I did feel that it was so visceral in a sense. You're so in this woman's mind and in her just inability kind of to cope with her situation that at times I just like couldn't pick it up and read it because I was too affected in a good way, but sometimes I needed like some like happy breaks with myself because she really struggles in this, and you're deeply, deeply with this character. I think that's what's so amazing about Ferrante's writing is you feel like you're there, you feel like you are this woman when you're reading it. But definitely the character of Olga and her behavior really challenged me. She's a challenging character. She makes some really questionable choices, and it was interesting to think about how those choices are judged by society, and some of the times when I would judge her, I would think maybe it's because I'm holding her to a specific standard that, you know, I need to let go of sometimes. Reflected to me just like the role of being a woman in the world and how much is expected of a mother and of this kind of ability to hold it together all the time. And this was a really deep portrait of a woman who like basically doesn't. I really enjoyed it, but it was challenging and difficult and pretty dark, but yeah. Very, very, very good. Ferrante's amazing. And I mentioned at the beginning of this vlog that By Nights in Chile by Roberto Bolaño. I'm starting to read this with Iggy, Literary Iggy, and we both were talking, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, she was like, listen, I'm really sorry, babe, but I didn't even start it yet. And I was like, I'm with you, I didn't start either. So I'm like, as of today, 9 pages in. I have not really much to say about it yet. And the reason for my delayed start to this book was because in the meantime I acquired this one, which is Woolgathering by Patti Smith. You know I love Patti Smith, she's my favorite author. And this was just such a beautiful, small, little skinny book. It is a hardcover, but it's just the right size to make it work. And a very, very beautiful cover. That's totally my aesthetic, this cover. This is a little tiny, small memoir, as with a lot of, like all of Patti Smith's work is memoir. These are really about her experiences as a childhood. Also then a little bit in her like early 20s in New York. But it's a very, very interesting, poetic, this is, I would say, is one of the more obscure things that she's ever written. She always has like a very poetic, you know, she's a songwriter also, she's a poet, you can feel it in her prose. But this one is particularly like fantastical, I would say, and it really encapsulates this feeling of like when you're young, like this sense of wonder and of awe. It's kind of like her Peter Pan childhood, you know, like never wanting to grow up, wanting to be in this like wonderful sense of life. Woolgathering comes from the fact that she sees in this kind of, she's living in sort of like a rural place, and there's a field slash like farm there, and just in the nature she's connecting with like kind of magical things there, like, you know, when you're a child and you think you are with fairies or something. So it's sort of similar, like that's the kind of feeling that I got, and she experiences these things in her imagination and also in her dreams. So Woolgathering is that she asks this kind of infamous man that she really loves that sells like bait for fishing in a nearby town. He just like really fascinates her, so she asks him when she's really young, like, who are these people inside the field that I want to live with, basically, and he said they're the wool gatherers, they're gathering wool. So of course, you know, these things are just part of her imagination as a young girl, but in the back it says, it's a quote from her that says, everything contained in this little book is true and written just like it was. So I also feel like she is exploring in here, and I think she explores that in a lot of other books, like especially in The Year of the Monkey, that we almost diminish the importance of dreams and imagination. Like when you dream something really vividly and you just dismiss it by labeling it as a dream, then you kind of take away how real it can be for your life, even though it's not a real experience. Like it is an experience that has weight in your life, even though it's when you're sleeping. This is her exploration of her childhood and how it connects to dreams and imagination and wonder, and I just thought it was beautiful. There's many also photographs in here, kind of Polaroid type pictures. There's a lot of passages that I underlined. Also with Patti Smith books, there's quite a lot of blank pages towards the end, which I wonder if it's because she wants to encourage you to also write things. For example, I just had a thought when I was sitting in a cafe, very Patti Smith, to be writing in a cafe, and I didn't have a piece of paper, so I just wrote it in the back here. Beautiful, very magical is the best way that I can describe it. Now I'm onto this one, so hopefully both Iggy and I can make some progress in this and talk about it. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm enjoying this so far. I feel like it's too early to tell. Oh my god, look at that. Okay, so I will catch you later. Good morning from our household. This is our beautiful breakfast. Some chopped veggies. Can you hear me? Gorgeous. Not our best. Chopped veggies, avo, cream cheese, goat cheese, hard-boiled eggs, toast. That's our spread this morning. We are just headed out to do some grocery shopping, and Ohad is actually mailing a painting that he made to a very kind person that bought it from Paris, right?
Yes.
So we're headed to the post office and to do some groceries. Anything to add?
No, I'm very excited, and it's the first time someone is buying a print of mine. And also it's the first time I'm shipping something abroad, so I hope
It works.
it works and someone is patient enough there to be...
Always the shittiest people work in the post office. I'm sorry if you work in the post office. I hope you're a good person. Look at you with your little painting in your bag, like a real artiste. Hi loves, it is Sunday. I finished this morning, most of my morning was consumed with finishing this book. I read, I guess, 95 pages, which feels like a lot. And in a way, I felt like this book was not gonna be a book that I would just like speed through, and somehow it completely sucked me in and I could not put it down. Though I feel like I'm gonna have a really, really hard time talking about my thoughts on this. I'm gonna close the door because there's construction noise. So as I mentioned before, we're following our main character who is a priest, and he's on his deathbed. He's just in this kind of feverish recalling of many life events, people. Maka says, in his feverish delirium, the crucial events of his past swell around him. So this is exactly what is happening in this book. He's going back in time in his memories with mostly the literary circles of Chile. There is a big section of the book that takes place in the home of his friend named Farewell, a kind of famous literary critic, and at his house he meets other literary figures, among which is poet Pablo Neruda, who I grew up reading Neruda poems. My dad really, really loves Pablo Neruda. So that was really nice for me to see that character in this book. I can already tell it's like really difficult for me to, like, this is not gonna go very well. I don't know how I'm gonna be able to explain this book. Our character, Father Sebastian, also starts a kind of dual career. So he's a priest, but he's also writing literary criticism and kind of newspaper columns under one name, and under another name he writes poetry. This was a buddy read with Iggy, which I mentioned, and I'll leave her video in the downstairs because she just posted a vlog where she talks her final thoughts through about this, and yeah, I feel like I'm gonna repeat a lot of things that she said, but I must preface this by saying that I feel like I was missing two big pieces of information in order for this book to not partially go completely over my head, which is I'm missing a lot, if any, knowledge about Chilean / other big South American literary figures, authors, poets. So I don't know a lot of the figures in this book, and also he's name dropping like a lot in this book. So I felt like it was just name after name that I didn't know. And the other part that I think put me in a disadvantage when reading this book was being completely oblivious to any political history or just history of Chile, mostly politically, because we're talking a lot about a president of Chile who was basically overthrown by a military coup, and he ended up committing suicide. And then political power moves in the hands of General Pinochet. I don't know how to say his name. Pinochet. So there's a lot of like context here about Chile during this time, political situation, and how that affected the people of Chile. So I'm missing all of that info. Like, I've got to do some Googling, I've got to call my world history teacher from high school, ask her to give me a lesson or something. The parts of this book that really I was kind of drawn to were like the writing, the prose, the style, the very, very atmospheric and almost, like I said before, like fever, dreamy delirium that is like moving through this book. And Bolaño is a gorgeous writer. He writes just some amazing sentences, and I loved so much the description of Chile, of the landscapes, and also like if you like, you know, a literary circle having a salon talking about books and philosophy in this kind of estate where there's wood and leather and many bookshelves and taxidermy and cognac, like that is the vibe here. Moonlight, gardens. So like the settings in in this book are incredible, and I enjoyed so much all of that part of this book. And there's also a section where our main character is asked to visit churches in Europe to write something about how to keep churches from disintegrating over time. So he's, you know, going to different countries, traveling, meeting other priests, and going to different churches, and that whole section I was really enthralled by just his traveling, moving in the world and meeting these different figures. But the bigger themes of this book, I'm afraid go over my head just because I'm missing a lot of context. Although somehow I wasn't incredibly frustrated by it, and I did do some Googling to like try to become familiar with a lot of these figures, or just, I don't know, politics in Chile, but I couldn't really scratch the surface of what I felt like I needed to know in order to like maybe understand some criticism that Bolaño is making about that in this book. Because this is all being recalled at the end of this priest's life, there's a description of him feeling like the bed that he's laying in is actually on water, and he's like using his hands off the sides of the bed to like paddle himself through the water and look at the sky, and like then like turn himself around, and then he sees like different memories and different things from his past, and then we go into like his histories of experiences of people. And I thought that was just really beautiful, very poetic, very imagery heavy, which I love in a book. I do think that this book is doing something with like the conflict between literature and politics, or art and politics, and also how those things come in conjunction with religion, because we do have a priest as a main character, and I feel maybe inside him this duality of being like, you know, in his religious faith in the church, but then also, you know, being inside these circles of writers, artists, poets, philosophy. So there is like an interesting duality there that I'm wondering if he's just making a comment by putting all of these things literally in the same room with each other. Yeah, I feel like as I was reading this and I was underlining things and like really enjoying to read it, I was more thinking about the things that I could say about it, but now I feel like at a complete loss of what to really say. I did really enjoy it. I do think that he's a really, really great writer. I think I enjoyed the fact that we're just in this character's recollections of things that happened in his life and questioning their importance, or just questioning. I don't know how to explain it. I literally ate it up this morning, the rest of it. So I did really get sucked into following this kind of blurry, wavy journey. Yeah, I just do feel like it's something I'm gonna have to think about, and I do feel like I need to like look up a lecture about this book, so that maybe I can understand what Bolaño is doing with this book that isn't just like all of the things that I love about reading, like, you know, imagery and stuff like that. Like, what is he really saying and commenting on in this? I feel like I need to do further research. Definitely enjoyed it, and I'm happy that I read it. We are gonna eat brunch, and then we've got to go to work a little bit later tonight. So yeah, I wanna just get this vlog up I'm wishing you all a good week, because I guess you're seeing this on Sunday, so probably your week starts on a Monday, so I hope you have a nice week. In terms of what I'm going to read next, I think I'm going to read The Dry Heart by Natalia Ginzburg. It's also a little tiny book. And I will start a new reading vlog at that point. So this is it for now. You've reached your final destination. Bye!